Hi everyone, and welcome to Behind the Numbers. My name is Dave Bookbinder. Welcome back to the show where we dig deeper to understand what really matters most in business. Today I'm pleased to welcome all the way from the UK, Lamise Butt, who is Senior Vice President of Global Alliances and Channels at Zoovu. Hey Lamise, welcome to Behind the Numbers.
Hey Dave, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure. I wouldn't miss it after all we've been through just to get you here. But that's between you and me. Nobody else needs to know that. Why don't you introduce yourself to the audience? Tell them a little bit about who you are and about Zoovu.
Sure, yeah. So my name's Lamise. I've been in the tech industry for the last 15 years and kind of seen a bit of a journey through the corporate side of the world, but also the startup side too. And Zoovu, I actually joined back in 2017, and we are a product discovery company, an AI product discovery company. And really our mission is to help connect our customers with their customers in the most seamless way.
Okay, that's a great summary. But now I'm going to ask you to unpack it a little bit more for us to help us all understand what exactly is a product discovery company. What do you guys do? And feel free to get a little tech wonky on us.
Sure, I think probably the easiest way to explain it, right, is through an example. We've all shopped online, and whether you're buying a washing machine or a bike, or in my case, I'm actually in the process of buying a new laptop. And considering I've worked in a tech company, I should know how much CPU I need and how much RAM I need, but I actually don't. But I can tell you that I travel a lot. I like to store everything on my laptop, and I would probably want to go into store and have that conversation with, an experienced salesperson who would recommend me the best laptop for my needs. But actually, like most people, we're time poor. And so what I have to do is now go online. But whether you're shopping on Walmart, Best Buy, even Dell.com, the issue that you have is you're being served with endless amounts of products without really knowing which one is right for you. And Zoovu solves that problem by taking all those technical specifications, so the RAM, the CPU, and translating it into human language so that we can really have kind of a conversation in a digital way to drive you to the right product.
Yeah, I want to ask you just to explain that a little bit further and give us an example of that type of conversation, because as I'm listening to you and thinking, so we could go in and maybe do some drop downs and click through on different options for memory, for example, CPU speed and things like that. Talk a little bit about how you translate it into that human type conversation.
So a lot of what we do is kind of like back office and taking it into the front office. So when you think about your back office, you think about where your products are stored, so your PIM systems. We connect agnostically to, I would say, pretty much all PIM systems, and we take all of that technical data. And actually, for anyone listening who has a PIM system, you're probably thinking, yeah, but my data is not in a great format and it's really messy and incredibly unstructured. But actually, that's also part of our USP. We're able to take that kind of messy, unstructured data set and transform it into what we call intelligent content. So that one kind of source of truth that allows you to power these discovery conversations. And the way that we translate it is through what we call ontologies, which is a really fancy way of saying that it's using context to really understand the words and the technical specifications that sit against products.
Yeah, and I guess maybe just the last piece on the technical side is talk a little bit about some of the partnership arrangements that you have and how do your customers interact with those various brands through those partnerships.
So we've been incredibly lucky, especially kind of on the B2B side, to work with a partner, SAP, obviously a very well-known, incredibly large tech company. And the beauty of the partnership that we have with SAP is a lot of their customers are B2B focused, and they all have a very, very similar problem. They sell complex products, and typically the only way that they were able to sell is through an account representative that you have to call up on the phone and spend 90 minutes building your quote on the phone. And actually what we want to do is help these organizations future-proof themselves to do more with less. And so we work with SAP to help uplift all of their commerce customers, to really help drive conversions through kind of integrations with BPQ and their back office, and push those discovery experiences onto their front office, onto Commerce Cloud.
All right, thank you. We hear a lot about customer engagement. I'm going to ask you to help the audience understand what does that mean, especially from the lens or the dichotomy, if you will, of the B2B customer versus the B2C, business to consumer and business to business customers.
I think consumer engagement, I think B2 all shop differently is really important. And when you translate that over to B2B, it's exactly the same. Your B2B buyers are really no different. You will have different customer persona types for how they would like to buy, the quantity or the level of products that they need from you. And so being able to understand how to serve them in the right way will actually get you the results that you're looking for.
Yeah, and you're using artificial intelligence to help with all that, right?
We are. AI has been a bedrock in our platform since we've been in existence, and actually it's given us a bit of I'd say an advantage in the sense that AI really is large data sets that learn from each other and are able to be adapted over time. And because we've been in business for so long, those data sets are incredibly large, and we've been able to use that really to help build and drive better results for our customers.
Yeah, talk a little bit about how the B2B and B2C companies are using AI in their day-to-day to help create engagement with customers.
It's a really good question, and actually it's a question we find a lot, that we get from our customers, whether it's pre-sale or post-sale. A lot of prospects would come to us and say, we really want to use AI, how do we use it? And it's interesting because the way that I explain it is have a look at your customer journey, kind of map out what that looks like from inception point awareness all the way through to a conversion, and pull out some of those pain points. And wherever you're finding that stickiness or the hurdle or it breaks, that's where there's an opportunity to use AI for better. And what we're seeing with our customers is that actually, like I explained earlier on, when you're having a conversation with a salesperson in store, imagine that there was a way to capture that conversation that converts, almost that best salesperson's conversation, and there was a way to optimize it, use it, segment it, and really learn from that data. And that's exactly what we're able to do with the Zoovu Conversation Optimizer, we call it, which is an AI-built tool which allows us to look at the conversations that are performing best and optimize them, push them out to different regions so we can start to see, we know that different cultures operate and shop differently, but if one conversation is working, we can actually see where it is kind of having that sweet spot and apply that to the different regions.
Yeah, and just to be clear, Lamise, are your customers coming to the Zoovu platform to begin their search for whatever it is they're looking for, or is Zoovu embedded into the DNA, if you will, of some of the other platforms that they may be doing their organic shopping on?
Yeah, so really we lean into kind of that headless commerce approach, kind of that composable commerce piece. You don't know you're touching Zoovu as an end customer. So our customers like Bosch, Dyson their customers do not know that they're using the Zoovu platform when they're being served a Bosch power tool or a vacuum cleaner. It feels native to the Dyson website and the Bosch website because that's how we want the customer to feel. It's really only kind of on the back end when you're configuring these experiences. So when Bosch internally are configuring these experiences for their customer, that's really the only moment that our customers would feel the Zoovu platform.
Yeah, and for the user experience, is it akin to a chat bot where you're doing a search and you're getting prompted and responding to certain questions?
That's really one example, yeah. And I think the beauty of Zoovu is that we're a discovery ecosystem. And what I mean by that is we're not just, chat. We are guided selling, kind of clickable question and answer assistance. We're intelligent search. And we really kind of have that width and breadth of how to serve customers in the right way. We have visual configurators because we understand that actually, if you're wanting to configure a fireman's helmet, for example, you actually want to see the product maybe in real life and do a 3D flip reverse of it to really understand how the product's going to work, which you can't always do in person.
Yeah, and when you talk about seeing the product, is there also a component of augmented reality where if you're looking at that helmet to see how it looks on your head?
Absolutely, yes. So we call it our 3D configurator, which uses AR to simulate kind of what that's going to look like to ensure that the customer really gets a close feel to what it would be like in reality.
That's awesome. Let me tell the audience how they can find you, connect with you, work with you, or if they'd like to learn more about Zoovu, what's the best way to do all that?
For sure. I'm super active over on LinkedIn, so find me, Lamise Butt, over on LinkedIn. Also, if you're more interested in Zoovu and kind of want to get to know more and see a demo, hit us up at zoovu.com and you can get a demo there.
That's awesome. You know, we're going to have to take a commercial break here, Lamise, but you sit tight, don't go anywhere. Folks out in the audience, don't go anywhere either. We will be right back on Behind the Numbers after we pay a few bills.
Big Flamingo Insurance. insurance. What do you want?
Yeah, can we get the auto insurance policy?
Anything else?
Can we add an extra driver?
Number form combo. Your premium comes with pickup spot too.
Okay.
When it comes to insurance, you don't have to sacrifice service to save.
Wait, this isn't even the right policy.
Upgrade to NJM and get the 5-star customer service you deserve with discounts you'll love.
Excuse me, Mr. Rollerbird?
No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. NJM. Get a quote today.
You can be confident choosing Farmers Insurance. There's no need to knock on wood.
Perfect.
This is an unnatural amount of natural light.
Thank you.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
Call or click to get a quote today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
She found it. The feeling of finding the psoriasis treatment she's been looking for. Sotyktu is the first of its kind once-daily pill for moderate to severe plaque psoriasis for the chance at clear or almost clear skin. It's like the feeling of finding that outfit psoriasis tried to hide from you, or finding your swimsuit is ready for prime time. Dad, once daily Sotyktu is proven to get more people clearer skin than the leading pill. Don't take if you're allergic to Sotyktu. Serious reactions can occur. Sotyktu can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB. Serious infections, cancers including lymphoma, muscle problems, and changes in certain labs have occurred. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, liver or kidney problems, high triglycerides, or had a vaccine or plan to. Sotyktu is a TYK2 inhibitor. TYK2 is part of the JAK family. It's not known if Sotyktu has the same risks as JAK inhibitors. Find what plaque psoriasis has been hiding. Ask your dermatologist about Sotyktu for clearer skin. So clearly you. Sotyktu.
Hi, my name is Dave, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Andrea. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm George. I am Metro.
Hi, my name is Joe, and I am Metro.
Hi, I'm Mark. I'm Metro.
Hello, my name is Seven, and I am Metro.
My name is Chris, and I am Metro.
I am Michael Barretto, President and Founder of Metropolis Passenger Logistics, and we are Metro.
And welcome back to Behind the Numbers, everyone. My name is Dave Bookbinder, and today we're talking with Lamise Butt, who is Senior Vice President of Global Alliances and Channels at Zoovu. Hey, Lamise, welcome back for round two. I would like to kick it off with you, basically following on where we left off in the first segment, and maybe ask if you could share an example with the audience. Walk them through a B2B process. What's that look like?
So what we typically see is B2B organizations have one quite similar problem, that they really would like to digitize their customer process, but because of their complexity of products, that they really do struggle. So one of our customers that we work with is a company called Draeger. And you might not have heard of Draeger, but I can almost guarantee that if you've ever been to a hospital, you will have come into contact with one of their products. They're a medical device manufacturer, headquartered in Germany, but operate in over, I think it's 190 different countries. And a lot of what they serve is X-ray equipment, equipment for hospitals to help on maternity wards, gas measurement devices for firefighters. And you can imagine that those products, you know, they require a lot of complexity when it comes to building and configuring them. You might actually have, 6 gas measurement devices, but each of those devices has possibly around 50,000 different combinations because of the components. And so you'd want to actually speak to a salesperson to actually get that, the right order, especially when lives are at play, right? You're speaking about firefighters who are going and saving lives. You want to make sure they have the right equipment. So it's definitely kind of high risk, high reward in that respect. And what Draeger was saying is, look, we want to be able to empower our end customers. So all of the hospitals that are our customers, all of the firefighters that are our customers, to actually be able to purchase online. We live in a digital world. Why aren't they able to do that? We want to be able to do more with less. We can't hire more salespeople, so how do we do it? And this actually comes into play with our partner SAP, because they're a huge SAP shop and they use a ton of their products. They use Commerce Cloud, which is the website functionality, and also kind of the back office product management systems where they manage all of their products. And the issue is that there was no way of actually exposing all of that compatibility, those configurations and the rules to the end customer in a really customer-friendly visual way. And so we came in as the partner to SAP to really take all of that complex data that sat in the back end and transform it into a visual conversation. So we would be asking questions to the customer, what is the industry that you're focused on? Is it hospitals? Is it firefighters? What is it? And through a series of questions, we would actually get down to the right product, in this case, a gas measurement device. And then we would actually be able to help configure that to the exact right requirements for that gas measurement device, based on the level of let's just say oxygen that was required, or the level of gas, the types of gas that they usually come into contact with. So that's quite technical, but what it shows you is how important it was for a company like Draeger to be able to serve their customers in a digital way to help almost unlock a new revenue channel online that they didn't previously have.
Yeah, and that's a great story. And just to, I guess, to continue on that thread, so I want to understand what they're doing to maintain or enhance the user experience in that situation, right? Because consumers, you're at their website, but you've got other options. You could go somewhere else for a similar product. But how are the brands basically creating an experience that get the customer engaged? Because there's a huge investment at the back end of this, right? They've got to get an ROI when someone shows up there. They'd like to get them closed. How are they doing that?
The customers that win are the ones that really understand, number one, their customer personas, and two, the path in which their customers are using to discover and convert. And what I mean by that is, let's just say there's an example of a dental manufacturer. We'll use a dental manufacturer this time. And when you think about the types of personas of the people that are purchasing, let's just say there are probably 3 different personas. You've got the receptionist who works at the dentist, who's been handed a list of products that they need to go and purchase. So she's been given a list. She needs to go onto the website, find these products, probably using the search bar, and just hit add to cart, add to cart. Then you've got a dentist, somebody who's actually incredibly knowledgeable, time poor, but really wants to be able to create a suite of products that are probably going to fulfill maybe a number of surgeries that he's going to have this week. And then you've got somebody else, which is an accounts executive person who is knowledgeable, but maybe probably not a subject matter expert in dentistry. And so it's understanding each of those customer personas and wanting to know how they're using your website to discover the products, so that actually, let's just say for the receptionist, if she was hitting the search bar and she was typing in the code of that product, the best customers will power a asset or a question in the search bar to say, we can see that you're looking for this, let us help you. And through that click, we'll be able to power a discovery conversation that allows the user to be guided through that journey to essentially get to the product that they need. But it's really about understanding how to meet customers where they are, capture them on that journey to help guide them through to convert.
Yeah, and okay, so we get to that spot where we've gone through all the entire process, the interaction, the selection, and we've made the purchase decision, and ostensibly I'm going to be more satisfied with the product because of the experience that I've had at the front end. Does that always translate, Lamise, or is there some potential gap there that companies are still working on the customer satisfaction piece with the product?
I would say that we have seen, when using Zoovu, a much higher rate in in customer retention for sure and lifetime value. And we've seen a huge reduction in returns when you use the discovery experiences through Zoovu. You can imagine the level of returns that were happening when you were buying incorrect compatible products or just buying pieces or parts and they didn't go together, and that was causing a huge issue for a lot of B2B companies as well.
Yeah, Lamise, tell folks out there how they can find you, how they can learn more about Zoovu.
You can catch me over on LinkedIn, Lamise Butt, or you can hit us up at zoovu.com and get a demo there.
That sounds good, quick and easy. So since you're in the tech space, I want to ask you about doing more with less. It's something that everybody hears in the workplace these days. What's your take on that?
I think doing more with less is really about driving efficiency. Looking at your processes in your organization and figuring out how and where you can optimize. I think that innovation, the very word itself, the genesis of it is how can we do things differently and how can we do things better? And so I always, when I'm speaking to customers, love to go back to their customer journeys and love to look at their processes just to see, how they're operating. Because what you find is that there are tons of inefficiencies in those processes, but actually there's better ways of doing things. And even small tweaks can make a seismic change in that kind of goal to do more with less.
Yeah, and you've got a fascinating background. I want to ask you to share a little bit of that with the audience, if you don't mind. Tell us about your entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah, I started, as I said, in tech from the age of 19. Well, actually, probably even younger without me realizing it. I was a kid that used to play with Lego. And so I always I considered myself a bit of a builder, not in the construction scenario, but more of the Lego type builder. And I had my first startup at 19 where I identified a problem. It was actually in the fast tech space and created an app called My Mannequin. And so, built the app, got seed funding for it, completely tanked it at the age of 20, which is totally normal. And you fail fast is what I've learned. And then went into the corporate world and did a number of roles across corporate, Mercedes-Benz, The Times, Salesforce, just to really kind of finesse the skill set. But what I realized is that at heart, I am a builder. And so joining Zoovu, I was number 2 in their London office and truly didn't even know if they could make payroll at the time. And I've been there now over half a decade, and it's been an incredible journey, just really seeing impact in the way that discovery will, help truly change people's day and lives, because we're giving back time.
Yeah. And Lamise, we're getting down to the short strokes here. It's almost the end of the program, but I want to give you a couple of minutes just to share with us your thoughts on the future of artificial intelligence and what's down the road for Zoovu as well.
I'm really excited about what the future holds from a technology standpoint. I think that there's a lot of fear out there at the moment across different industries. People nervous about, will AI take my jobs? And actually, I think it's a case of imagining that you're riding a horse and you've really got to grab the reins of this and you've got to direct it and let it serve you rather than the other way around. And so my advice to anybody who's looking to explore AI and looking to figure out how you can use AI to help serve you is go back to, like I said, your processes. Go back to your grassroots and figure out where you've got sticking points or where you've got issues that are broken, and let's see how AI can work to optimize your processes to make it better.
All right. Lamise, unfortunately, we are out of time. It goes very quickly here. I can't thank you enough for joining us today on Behind the Numbers.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. We've been talking with Lamise Butt, who's Senior Vice President of Global Alliances and Channels at Zoovu. Definitely give them a look and definitely hit Lamise up on LinkedIn. I know she'll be happy to connect with you. And you can always connect with me on LinkedIn. My name is Dave Bookbinder, and I'm the one that my clients turn to when they want to know what their most important assets are worth. I want to thank Emma for running the board today. Great job over there in the darkness out there, Emma. I also want to thank you, the audience, for watching and listening. We can't do the program without you. Thank you so much for your support. That is all we have for today, folks. We'll see you next time on Behind the Numbers. Take care.